Hello and welcome. Let us now cover a new class which is called group by. As it states, this class is used to group rows based on specific columns, and it is essential because it simplifies the data. For example, in this data, we can group our results based on the classes, or maybe, let's say, the gender, or even the marks scored. Let us select all the columns in our student table from the student, and then let's group this by, let us group this by gender and see if it works. There we go. It shouldn't work because normally this is applicable when we have an applicable field that is a calculated field or aggregation. And let's now move and say count ID and then group this by gender. Let's see if it works. It works. We should select gender too, so that we can see their gender being represented. We have female, we have 17 students, and we have males, they are 18. We can further order these by, let's say, count, and let's specify that this will be labeled as count, and let's run this. Now we have this, we have 17, 18, and we can change that by using the descending order. There we go. We have male 18 and female 17. We can change, we can beautify this and have a very nice SQL query. In this case, we are calculating a total. We are counting the entries for the male and female students, then grouping this based on the gender and displaying the results. As expected, we can change this and say we want to group this by class. Let's see. For each class, we have how many students, and let's see if it works. It works perfectly. We have class 7 has 9 students, class 7 has 10 students, class 4 has 9, class 6 has 7 students, class 3 and 5 have 3 students, and class 9 and 8 has 2 and 1 student respectively. And then let's now see if we can also represent this in ascending order. We can do that by not selecting the descending or using the and we beautify that. And there we go. We have a well summarized table which shows the class and the number of students in that class. We can further change this table, and let's say we want to calculate the average of each class. We'll have average score, that is average of the mark, and as the mean score, let's have that as the mean score, and use this to group the student to order the student by ascending order. There we go. Class 9 has 41 as the mean mark. Class 4 has 70, and class 6 is the highest with 82 as the mean score. We can also group this based on gender and change this to gender, and we'll have, in this case, we'll determine which gender, that is either boys or girls, who had the highest score. And there we go. We have the girls had more scored better. The girls had a better score than the boys with a 77, and the boys had a 71. That's it for group by. Note that group by and order by are used together, and they can be used to group and order data, big chunks of data. because they are two powerful clauses. Use the having a new clause now. Mean score of this student is more than, let's say we want those more than 70. And if we run this, we'll only have those, that is classes with more than 70. We can change this to 75 so that we can see less entries. We have class 5, class 7, class 6, and class 8. Then we can also order these by, let's say, mean score. We'll order this based on the mean score, and there we go. We have these in sorted based on the mean score, and we can say we want this to be descending order. And that's it. We have class 6 as the highest, class 5, then we have class 5, we have class 6, class 5, class 8, and class 7. We can beautify this, and we'll have a very beautiful query that applies how many clauses? We have the group by clause, we have the having clause, and we have the order by. Note that the having clause is used to filter results of aggregate functions. That is, the mean score is an aggregate function, and therefore we don't use where. We are going to use, if we try to use where in this case, it doesn't work as expected, because the where clause is not applicable when we are using aggregate function, but having will work perfectly. There we go. We have our results as expected. Note that this was just a simple introduction, and we'll cover more later on, and I will show you how to apply these clauses in a more detailed or larger data sets. In this case, I just wanted you to be sure, and we can review the results in an easier manner without complication of long data sets. Then finally, I'll show you how to combine tables based on a given entry. That is, in most cases, we use the primary key or the foreign key to join two tables. Let's start by selecting, we want the name. Let's delete this. We want to select the name. We want the name. We also want the class. We also want the gender and the mark. And let's see, we are going to use based on this table. We have these, we have the class, we have them social, we have science, and we have math. From these are mainly from student sum table, and we can use an alias in this case using the we can use the alias SL, and then we want to join this with another table, and this table is, we want to join this with the students table on, and let's use the alias for this as 1s, and we join this based on s.id is equals ss.id. We are using the student ID as the main key in this case, and let's select that. We'll still get the name from S table, the class from S table, the gender from the student table, the mark will get the mark from the student table, and social will be from the student sum table, science will be from student sum table, mathematics will be from student sum table, and then we can run this and see what we get. Now we have a very clean table in which we have the name, the class of that student, their gender, their total mark, that is the mark from the student table, the social studies score from the student sum table. We also have the science from student sum table and mathematics from student sum table. That's it. And then remember, now we can perform other form of calculation or querying based on this. We can use aggregation and other clauses to query these. We have created a totally new table, and we can also save this as a separate table from the rest. That's it. And as we said earlier, this is just an illustration of what we can do with SQL. And we'll do more of this in our live sessions.